Hey guys, this drill is a lower body roll, and the value of a rolling exercise is that it reminds your body of the linkage between the lower body and the upper body. See, we're built in an X, right? The way that we're designed from an anatomical standpoint, my right shoulder works and moves in conjunction with my left hip, and my left shoulder works in conjunction and moves with my right hip. So we're kind of built in this X. And reminding your body of how to move through that X can have a host of benefits. One, I mean, rolling is kind of where our gait pattern shows up, right? Because when we run, whether we're sprinting, jogging, walking, skipping, whatever, it's always this shoulder and this hip working together and vice versa. If we get a hiccup in that X, that can show up in a number of different places. It can limit things like our ability to squat well, okay? It can limit our ability to hinge properly. It can limit our ability to use our shoulders and go overhead properly. It can have all kinds of negative ramifications. Whereas the opposite side, if you engage that X, if you use things like the rolling patterns, it can help to clean up a lot of those issues. So let's say, for instance, that maybe I've got some tightness in my left shoulder, and that's causing an issue in my right hip. That may present itself not necessarily in what I'm doing with my shoulder. It may show up in a movement like my squat. So what we're going to do today is show you how to do that lower body roll. And the lower body roll looks much like the upper body roll if you've seen that one. The biggest difference is that we're going to lead with the lower body versus the upper body. In the lower body roll, I'm going to turn and look the direction that I want to go. So if I want to roll to my right, I'm going to turn and look to my right, and I'm going to lead with my left leg. In the process of that, I'm going to try to leave my left hand on the ground for as long as possible. That creates a wonderful stretch through the trunk, from the hips up into the trunk and shoulder. When I get to that place, just before my hand wants to come off the ground, I'm going to probably hang out there and breathe a little bit before I complete the roll. And I'll flip over, and then to get back, I'm basically going to repeat the process going the other direction. So here's what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to come towards you, so I'm going to roll with my left leg. My arms are going to be out here in kind of a Y position. My legs will be out here in kind of an X position, so I'm going to look like that X that I was just talking about. And here, I'm going to turn and look the direction that I want to go. I'm going to bring my left leg up, and I'm going to reach across. And right about there is where my left hand wants to come off the ground. So I'm going to leave it there and just breathe a little bit. Breathe down into my diaphragm. And you can see as I take that breath in, kind of lifts my leg up because it's fighting for space. And I'll exhale, and then I'll let the hand move, and I'll complete the roll. Now to get back, I'm going to lead with this side leg. So I'm going to turn and look over this shoulder, and I'm going to pick this, my left knee and foot up off the ground. I'm not going to kick my hips over. I'm going to leave my hips on the floor, and I'm going to get that knee and foot up off the ground and lead with my legs. So I'm turning and looking over that shoulder. This hand is going to stay stuck to the floor for as long as possible, and I'm going to reach, and right about there is where my hand wants to come off the ground. I've got a pretty good stretch going. So I'm just going to hang out here, breathe into my belly a little bit. Sorry, I let my hand come off the ground. It's supposed to stay stuck. And then let everything come back. And now I'm going going to go this direction with it. So this hand is going to stay stuck to the floor. I'm going to look that way, and I'm going to lead with this leg. Right about there is where this hand will just come off the ground. So I'm going to hang out here and breathe a little bit. And then I'll complete the roll. And to get back, I'm going to turn and look over my right shoulder. I'm going to lift my right knee and foot. Reach. I'm keeping this hand stuck to the floor. I'm going to breathe a little bit. And then I'll let that hand move and I'll complete the roll. If you're locked up in any kind of way, those rolls feel amazing. The feeling that you get coming out of those rolls is very similar to what you might feel coming out of a deep tissue massage or a chiropractic adjustment, or if you've ever taken a yoga class and you did that 5 minutes or so of relaxation at the end. That's the kind of feel that you're going to get coming out of those rolls, and your body is just going to respond positively from a movement standpoint. So give it a shot.